This is going to be a video discussing homesickness for campers at Camp Echo. We're going to break this video up into 3 different parts. We're going to discuss how to prepare your children, things that you can avoid, and then also ways that Camp Echo can help you out. So the first thing we're going to start with is preparing the child. So we want to make sure that we're having conversations with our children before they're coming to camp about the possibility of homesickness. It's very common for first-year campers especially to experience homesickness while on camp. And so the more conversations that we can have with our children building up to camp, the better they'll be prepared. You want to start these conversations about 2 months before the child is coming to camp, so you can build up a positive anticipation and avoid getting them anxious if you only start having these conversations a week prior to them coming. Let the kids know that it's normal to feel homesick and it's normal to miss home. It's a really common thing and it's a healthy thing to miss your family. Talk about ways that the kids can cope with homesickness, such as writing to home and hopefully receiving letters from you at home as well. An idea is also to go shopping together for maybe some materials that you'll need for camp. And make sure you pack with your youth, because that way they'll be able to know what is in their bag and how to access that quickly when they're at camp. We are actually going to do a whole video about packing, so if you need more information about that, we will have a video on that as well. Lastly, just encourage your child to reach out and talk to staff if they do need anything while they're there. We always have staff who are willing to help, and encourage your child to let us know if they are having these feelings. Our second topic we're going to discuss is things to avoid. Now this is really difficult for parents, but we want you to do your best in trying to work towards these things. The first one is going to be telling your camper that you'll be able to pick them up from camp. This is actually setting your camper up for an unsuccessful week at camp. We want your camper to believe that you believe that they can make it through the 2 weeks. So you need to tell them that no matter what, they're going to make it through, they're going to push through, and they're going to have resources that are going to support them in that. Once you tell your kid that they'll be able to get picked up and go home for the week, then they'll be thinking about that the whole time they're on camp rather than all the fun things that they can participate in. Also, make sure that while you are dropping your child off on the bus, you're leaving them with the best positive experience in saying goodbye. I know it's gonna be really difficult, but try to avoid crying or being really upset, because then that's the last thing that's lasting in your child's memory, is they're thinking about the tears and how they're abandoning you and feeling guilty rather than excited for what's to come on the camp. Finally, also make sure to avoid telling your camper any type of horror stories. I know they might have siblings who've come to Camp Echo before, but let's avoid any of those scary homesick stories or any scary stories that happened, so that they can just create their own experience and think about the experience in a positive way. Lastly, let us help. We have staff that are there to support youth if they're in homesickness. We actually have social workers that are on the camp who specialize in providing social emotional support. So if you are hearing anything from your camper prior to them coming to Camp Echo, let us know and we can definitely do some preparation and give you some tools and guidance in setting them up for success. And then if you hear at home from a kid and they're telling you they're homesick, call our staff and we'll make sure to intervene and try to support them in the best way that we can. Our counselors and all of our staff that are at Camp Echo are there for the kids, and we just want to make sure they have the best experience. So the more that they communicate with us and the more you communicate with us, the more we can do to help all of you.